salt on and hug and massage the cabbage, and it will produce its own brine. We've put a little bit of turmeric in there with that, but there we just have a whole Savoy cabbage. Look at that. That's why there's never ever any need to pour water or brine, because it will make its own, because salt sucks and it draws out that moisture. And Savoy is a lovely soft leaf cabbage. It's a lovely cabbage for a sauerkraut because it's so soft. See, it's not like your big drum heads that are a little bit coarser. So now we're going to add grated carrot. We've got orange and gold carrots there, and your grated shredded green pawpaw. We've also got in there a shredded moringa root. You know, the mighty moringa leaf tree that grows? The little root that's at the bottom. It's wonderful to use in your ferments. It's exactly like using horseradish. We actually do ferment it all by itself. So that's like fermented moringa root at the bottom of your tree, that if you have them growing anywhere in your local area, you'll find that there's plenty of roots coming out. We have them actually in our yard. It's a mighty tree. So there we have, we'll just mix that all in. So mix. What else will we put in there? We'll put a little bit of shredded ginger and a little bit of shredded turmeric. So pop that in there. That's really enough. That's enough in there. So we'll now put that into a jar. Oops, sorry, big noisy thing I am. Now we've got to really press that in. Got to suffocate the cabbages so that there's just no air pockets. So make sure that you press. Your best presser is your fist. So you just get that in and press away. I'll just move him over here so that you can see my bottle there. Press. Look at that. See that beautiful liquid? It's always got to be submerged. No matter what you're fermenting, whether it be a vegetable that doesn't produce a brine and you have to make a brine, the story is it must always be covered in brine and all will be fine. So in this case, it's produced its own. We'll slide down a little bit of curry leaf there that's come out of my garden. You could put a little bit of spice in there if you like, a little bit of chilli. You could add a little bit of chilli if you wanted to, but not too much. Or a little bit of curry or something like that if you want to add a little bit of spice. Don't add black peppercorns, they're way too overpowering. They're exactly the same as the black seed from your pawpaw. If it's the white seed, which often in your green pawpaw, you'll have a white seed, it's okay. You can pop a few of the white seeds in, but not the black. They're way too overpowering. What we do with these little black pawpaw seeds, we actually dry those, and they're a great pepper replacement, where you can just grind it on the top of your food. So we bring that up. Now we've got to leave room, we've got to leave space at the top for the fermenting fairies to perform. They will produce, it's a lacto-fermentation ferment, so it does produce carbon dioxide, in other words bubbles, so they'll all bubble up, so you need to give a little bit of room so that will ferment away there beautifully. Now, we'll just might pop a little bit of moringa leaf in there. So we've got that there, nice little bit of moringa leaf. Sliding down there. Now, what we've got to do is we've got to make sure that no floaters come up. We don't want anything floating to the surface. So really what works real well is like your outside cabbage leaf. So that's the outside of the cabbage leaf, so you just pop that into there, keep it all nice and compressed. Because I love to put something in there from what I've fermented from my garden and use the same thing for actually a weight on top, I'm going to use some of the green pawpaw leaves. We won't eat those, they'll actually go into the compost, but they'll make a nice little topping there so that we don't have any little floaters. The idea is you can use something like a daikon wedge, you can buy little glass weights, you can use a clean river rock. There's plenty of things that you can use for a weight to keep it submerged. I'll just top it off with another cabbage leaf. Make sure that it's totally submerged and that we've got a little bit of room there for expansion. So down we go. Press, press, press. Now you must use an oxygen-free bottle. That's being so that you don't let any air in, because if you let any air in there, you'll end up getting, especially on the surface, you'll produce acetic acid. Well, you won't, but the process does. So acetic acid is vinegar, and that's not tongue tasty. So you must have a bottle, a good quality bottle that has that nice little, that will allow for expansion. You'll never have a bottle that blows up on you. That's a Fido bottle, that one, which is an Italian bottle. So there we have, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So what we'll do now is we'll put that into my little fermenting cave, into a little cupboard, and my special little cupboard that I designed for them. Make sure that it has like a little glass bowl or something underneath like that, because you have to cater for that. You may get some little overflow. That's okay. If you get a little bit of overflow, just discard that overflow. Keep your little jar that it's sitting in nice and clean. Cover it with a dark cotton tea towel. It's a good idea so that you can keep the light out. You don't want any exposed light to it. You want to give our job as a human is just to set up the great environment for the fermenting fairies to do their job, and do their job they will. How long that will take, because that's a softer leaf cabbage, it will ferment quicker than say a drumhead cabbage. Drumhead cabbage, depending on your temperature, and you'll be looking between like 4 to 6 weeks. This one, you'll be looking at about 3 weeks in our temperature here, that we'll then open it up. You never open it up, you don't burp it, because you've set the right environment up. It's all been done there, it's all right, to just let it go. Because if you open it up to burp it, you're going to let in air. So you'll then